Think you can spot toxic people? You probably can't because the worst ones don't look toxic. They wear normal faces, say the right things, and somehow still leave you feeling like garbage. I'm going to expose 10 toxic patterns that trap smart people. These aren't random behaviors. They're calculated strategies that make you think you're the crazy one. Ready? Let's start with the sign your body notices before your brain does. The first sign is the energy drain, that weird exhaustion that hits after talking to them. Not the good tired from being challenged. Instead, it's the heavy, foggy fatigue that feels like your soul got siphoned. Stanford research shows toxic people spike your stress hormones by 45%. Your body literally enters fight or flight mode around them, burning energy you need for everything else. I watched someone meet their friend for coffee and return needing a 3-hour nap. That's not friendship. That's your body's alarm system screaming that something's wrong. Pay attention to this pattern. If you consistently need recovery time after seeing someone, that's not a relationship. That's a slow-motion energy mugging disguised as normal interaction. The second sign is relentless criticism disguised as help. Toxic people know compliments don't control you, but criticism does. They never just say, "Great job." It's always, "Yeah, but," followed by the one thing you could have done better. They find the flaw in every achievement, the cloud in every silver lining. Over time, you stop chasing happiness and start desperately seeking their approval, thinking, if I just fix this one thing, maybe they'll finally be proud of me. Spoiler, they won't. And here's the trap. When they do throw you a rare compliment, it hits like pure dopamine, making you forget all the damage they've done. That's not coincidence. It's conditioning designed to keep you hooked on their validation. The third sign is pathological self-centeredness. You could be describing a near-death experience and somehow they'll redirect the conversation to their paper cut. Harvard research found toxic narcissists interrupt conversations to self-reference every 30 seconds on average. They physically cannot handle attention focused elsewhere. I watched someone share news about their cancer diagnosis, only to have their friend immediately launch into a 10-minute monologue about their own health anxiety, without a single question about the actual cancer. This isn't just annoying, it's strategic. By consistently redirecting attention to themselves, they're training you to believe your experiences don't matter. They're establishing a relationship hierarchy where they're the main character and you're merely background decoration. The fourth sign is a complete inability to take responsibility. When things go wrong, it's always someone else's fault, usually yours. Psychology Today reports that this responsibility deflection appears in 91% of toxic relationships. They'll blame their boss, the economy, the weather, anything but themselves. I witnessed a manager blame his entire team for a project he micromanaged into failure. When confronted with evidence of his poor decisions, he said, "If they had just executed my vision correctly, we would have succeeded." This isn't just stubbornness. It's a calculated strategy to maintain their perfect self-image while making you doubt yours. Notice how their excuses often contradict each other, yet they'll defend each one with absolute conviction. That's not forgetfulness, that's manipulation. The fifth sign is an addiction to drama. While normal people seek peace, toxic people manufacture crises like it's their job. Because it is. Research shows toxic individuals score 67% higher on drama creation measures than average people. They don't just encounter drama, they generate it, then act surprised when it explodes. I watched someone systematically turn friends against each other by telling different versions of conversations to different people. She seemed happiest when everyone was fighting, a witness explained. This isn't just immaturity, it's strategic. By keeping their environment in constant chaos, they prevent you from noticing their manipulations. They thrive in emergencies because crisis situations lower your critical thinking and increase your dependency on whoever seems to have answers. The sixth sign is treating your boundaries like suggestions. They don't just cross your lines once by accident. They make a career of ignoring the limits you've clearly drawn. University of Michigan research found toxic individuals violate stated boundaries 3 to 4 times more frequently than healthy people. It's not that they don't understand, they don't care. I heard about someone whose mother read their journals despite being asked to stop dozens of times. When confronted, she'd say, "I'm just trying to understand you better." That's not love. That's invasion. Here's what makes this truly sinister. Each violation is a test. Every time you fail to enforce a boundary, they push further next time. It's like watching a predator test an electric fence for weaknesses. The seventh sign is weaponized affection. They give and withhold love based on how well you're serving their needs at any moment. Attachment psychologists found this conditional regard causes deeper emotional damage than outright rejection. At least rejection is consistent. This is psychological whiplash. I heard about a father who was warm and generous when his daughter followed his career advice, but cold and distant when she pursued her own interests. His love felt like a reward for compliance, she explained. This isn't just emotional immaturity, it's a sophisticated control mechanism. By creating an unpredictable pattern of approval and disapproval, they're training you to constantly seek their validation. Notice how quickly their attitude toward you can shift from adoration to contempt without any reasonable explanation. The eighth sign is relentless triangulation. They talk about you to others and about others to you, creating a web of distrust where everyone's slightly suspicious of everyone else. Social network studies show toxic individuals typically serve as information gatekeepers, controlling what different people know about each other. They're not connecting people, they're isolating them. A community organizer described how one volunteer destroyed their team by telling each person different secrets that others supposedly said about them. By the time we realized what was happening, the damage was done. This isn't just petty gossip, it's strategic isolation. By positioning themselves as the information hub, they ensure all relationships flow through them. Watch for the warning signs. Do they share secrets too readily? Do they often say, "Don't tell anyone I told you this"? The ninth sign is the backhanded compliment, praise with a hidden knife. You look so much better than last time. Or, that outfit is so brave of you, aren't failed compliments. They're precision strikes. Columbia University linguists found toxic individuals use compliment-insult combinations 3 times more frequently than healthy communicators. It's not accidental, it's tactical. I heard about a boss who told an employee, "You're doing amazing for someone with your background." The employee felt simultaneously praised and diminished, exactly as intended. These verbal Trojan horses create a psychological trap. If you object, you seem ungrateful. If you accept, you validate the criticism. Notice how these comments often target your insecurities with surgical accuracy. The test is simple. Do their compliments leave you feeling better or worse about yourself? The 10th sign is reality distortion. They rewrite history, deny saying things you clearly heard, and make you question your own perceptions until you feel crazy. Clinical research shows this gaslighting appears in 91% of toxic relationships. It's not just lying, it's making you doubt your ability to recognize lies. A domestic violence counselor shared how one client recorded conversations because her partner would vehemently deny saying hurtful things minutes after saying them. "Am I going crazy?" she asked. This is the most dangerous sign because it attacks your relationship with reality itself. When you can't trust your own perceptions, you become dependent on them to interpret the world for you. Notice how they'll confidently rewrite history even when confronted with evidence, or dismiss your feelings while demanding validation for their own. Now that you know these 10 signs, you'll start noticing toxic patterns that were invisible to you before. You might realize some people in your life have been slowly poisoning your self-confidence, peace of mind, and reality for years. Remember, toxicity exists on a spectrum. Someone might display these behaviors occasionally without being fundamentally toxic. The key is consistency and intensity. Are these patterns or isolated incidents? The most powerful response to toxicity isn't confrontation, it's distance. You can't change someone who doesn't see a problem with their behavior, but you can change who has access to your time, energy, and mental space. If this video opened your eyes, hit subscribe and drop a comment about which toxic sign you've encountered most often.